described it, kind of off-axis music and language being spoken, but you also had, a mom from the South, so it wasn't all just a Cuban household, obviously, in terms
Right.
of culture and language. So
Right.
how did that meld together or did it even have an effect in your beginning of music?
It did, but I didn't realize it at the time. I'm still realizing it now as I mature. But I didn't begin with pop music in general. I was a cellist. I remember when they first brought the instruments into the elementary school. This is when we were living in DeKalb, Illinois, the Northern Illinois University. I heard the instruments and I heard the cello and I thought, that's what I want to
So
play.
cello was your first instrument.
Cello's my first instrument. I
And
remember
how old
hearing
are you
that.
at that point?
Well, there I was in second or third grade. So
Wow.
yeah, I was very young. Heard that, and I thought I wanted to play that instrument. And my family was all for me doing strings because my grandmother was
On
my dad's side was one of the first female Cuban concert violinists.
Wow.
And she dropped everything when she had a family. She thought she played the role that she was supposed to at the time, but falling into the social norms. But she was quite an accomplished concert violinist, and I remember I saw her, or she saw me. I don't remember, but as a baby, and then she died like within a month or two later. They thought she's passing the music on to you,
Yeah.
which was the feeling of it. But then when I picked cello, they thought, no, you're so small, you look like you're playing an upright bass. So they kept saying you need to play something smaller. But I flat out told them if I couldn't play the cello, I'm not interested in doing it.
So there was something, it sounds like there was something in the DNA that kind of spoke orchestral to you. I mean,
Definitely, and that's how I
Strings.
began with everything. I listened to what my father played at home, and then obviously the Beatles came out when I was a little bit older from that. But that's the only time I got into the pop music. But the Beatles still satisfied that because they did have a lot of orchestrated things going on, the orchestral arrangements and stuff that they did. So it kind of played into it also. But I began nothing to do with jazz, nothing to do with Afro-Cuban music. It was all orchestral that I would do.
that's interesting. So it does make you wonder whether that was kind of passed along by grandmother.
I wonder.
Yeah. Although you were hearing some of that being played out of your dad's office.
Right.
You mentioned Hoy Como Va,
Yes.
and it was Tito Puente was the original
Right.
cut of that.
He wrote that.
Was that the first cut you heard?
Well, I had heard that at home without really realizing it until I heard Santana. It was
Okay.
Dad's music. It
Right.
wasn't necessarily what I was, as a little kid. You just don't, that's the old people's music type thing.
Well, I have a little clip from Tito Puente, and I don't remember quite what clip I grabbed, but let's listen to it a little bit, and what should people be listening for in this song if they wanted to understand why it grabbed you?
Oh, like I think all Cuban, mostly Latin music, it's layers of simple rhythms working together. Each part, if you listen to it, is actually not complicated, and they keep putting.
The farther the arrangement
The
goes.
farther the arrangement goes,
Yeah.
you hear all this. It sounds like it's complex, but it's very simple parts put together, and the way it's put together. If you listen to, he has a section in there where it's like the horns are doing a certain melody. He's got everything doing different simple melodies, but they overlap when they play it together. It's this huge orchestrated sound.
So do you think it was that relationship between these rhythms and different instruments and how they melded together that kind of grabbed you?
Yeah.
Let's take a listen. This is Hoy Como Va
Mm-hmm.
by Tito.